So then we get Brian Cage against Jungle Boy Jack Perry. And even when they try to do shit, you've got to remember that unless a human being has a personality, it don't work. Jungle Boy took a choke slam on the apron of the ring, on his neck, on the on the VTR. So he comes out selling his bad neck, but he doesn't sell his bad neck like a feisty baby face who's going to fucking fight through against this big beast regardless. He sells his neck like a kid on the playground who just got dumped on his head and had his peanut butter sandwich stolen. He just had kind of a off-put look on his face, and he's rubbing his neck, and he's kind of walking slow. None of these guys have a goddamn shit bit of personality. If they can't fucking text somebody or play a video game, they're dead in the fucking water. I'm serious. I used to share locker rooms with some of the most outlandish motherfuckers in the history of the human race. And that's why they got over on television. These guys are bland, boring, and they're pussies. They're just big fucking pussies. And all they want to do is fucking flip around and cartwheel like a bunch of male high school cheerleaders. So anyway, this was two indie guys doing an indie match with no leader, and Brian Cage trying to do 10,000 different moves, whether he can do them or not. And finally, in the finish, explain this to me. I know they want to get Jungle Boy over, but the finishes are so flat, and they're so... He comes out of something Cage is trying to do and hits a Canadian Destroyer, which, okay, it's a stupid move, but it looked great. He gets a 2 count with a sloppy kick out. He could have had it there. Resourceful, quick babyface reverses something 1, 2, 3, but no, that's a kick out. Then he gets the snare trap, which is his modified crossface. Prince Nana, the manager, jumps up on the apron, distracts the referee. Cage, the heel, is tapping out, but the referee can't see it. Okay, we've seen that spot many times in wrestling before, not applied in this context. They do, Jungle Boy gets up and tries to go get the fucking referee, and they do a little awkward slow motion do-si-do thing that was contrived and set up so that Cage could swing at Jungle Boy, miss, and nail Nana off the apron. And then Jungle Boy hit a sloppy roll-up 1, 2, 3. So he hit Cage with a finish that looked better than anything else he did in what I just said, but that was a 2 count. Then he gets the fucking submission hold, and the heel taps out behind the referee's back, but instead of that being the babyface is out to get beat, the babyface just gets up, foils the heel and his manager again, and then beats the fucking heel flat in the fucking middle with a sloppy fucking move that looked worse than the other 2 things. How the fuck? Who's putting this shit together?
Tony Khan.
Are there no prisons, no workhouses? See, I'm in a Christmas mood. Are there no producers, no coaches? Can nobody say, well, wait a minute, you don't do all those things together. Those are things that happen in wrestling, but you don't do them in that order altogether. Because then you've just...
Well, you know, there's a camp that doesn't like advice and thinks that they know best and just do what they think is best, and these may or may not be 2 members of that camp.
So then Jungle Boy got on the microphone, and through his nose, he whined out, I want Big Bill. Now, apparently W. Morrissey, who used to be Big Cass, not to be confused with the plump singer in the Mamas and the Papas.
Mama Cass.
But not Mama Cass. He used to be Big Cass.
Right.
Then he became W. Morrissey. Now he's Big Bill.
Big Bill.
Big Bill. Not even Big Bill Dromo. Just Big Bill. Sounds like Big Bill used to be alongside Dinty Moore on the beef stew commercials, didn't he?
Honestly, tell me, if you're a ring announcer, how do you announce him?
Big Bill.
Here is weighing 300 and something pounds from who knows where, Big Bill. Does it pass the name test? Does it pass the name test?
No, it doesn't pass any kind of test. Name test, sniff test, smell test, pap test. So Jungle Boy whined out Big Bill, but here came Stokely Hathaway instead. And for 30 seconds of the show's as a segment, it suddenly got interesting. When he came out, he said, "You have pissed me off to the height of pistivity." But then Stokely talks to distract Jungle Boy because here comes Lee Moriarty. At least he doesn't have green hair anymore. So they realized that looked ridiculous. But here comes Moriarty and Big Bill, and they jumped Jungle Boy and got some sloppy heat on him, and the fans didn't give a shit, and it just continued. There was no referees coming. There was no bell ringing. They choke slammed him, did all this shit, and suddenly music plays, and here comes, remember we've been saying, where's he? Here comes Hook. They sent Hook. And Hook, I guess you could term it, he walked purposely to the ring, and all three heels, including 7 foot of Big Bill, bailed out of the ring like live fucking strychnine was coming into the ring. Fucking radioactive waste, poisonous disease. They just all jumped out. Hook's wearing a hoodie and sweatpants. He never even went for anybody. He didn't have anything. I don't think he took his hands out of his pockets. He didn't swing anything. And all the heels just jump away. Jump away. And then Hook helps Jungle Boy up, and they stare at each other, and they shake hands. And we like Hook. He's got a different style. He looks like he's in shape. He took his shit seriously. He's got the brooding, what'd you call Darby, an emancipated skateboarder? He's got the brooding, troubled youth look. I don't know what that says about Taz's parenting skills, but why would these heels run from one guy that wasn't even particularly being menacing? But now apparently now we know Hook and Jungle Boy are both baby faces and have a mutual respect for each other.
Unless Hook secretly signed a deal already with Stokely, that's why no one made contact with him, and he's trying to lure Jungle Boy in because he fell for this the last time when Christian Cage did it.
Do you think Hook has done an interview, or Jungle Boy's done an interview with Tony Schiavone where he says if anything happens to him, show this in 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Because if I team up with Hook, there's a possibility he'll stab me in the back. All right.